What would you do if your new boss is using power in a destructive way? Well, that's exactly what this caller was dealing with, and I give her a few tips to manage the situation. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to hear me coach more live callers just like this one. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show. How can I help you today?
Hi. So my boss got arrested at work and he was replaced with our team lead. So our fridge was on a set cleaning schedule and was cleaned once a month on a set date. So I rarely put things in the fridge, but I waited at least 4 days after the set date to put anything in the fridge. But the next day, I went into the fridge and saw that my things were all tossed. My team lead responded with, I should have known that she was cleaning out the fridge that evening and should not have left anything in there without an expiration date. Well, I had purchased yogurt, so there had been an expiration date printed on there. So she is refusing to reimburse me for throwing away my food. How do I continue working with such a frustrating person who would allow power to go to their heads in such a manner, continuously talking down on us and acting as if she's untouchable?
Okay, so there's a few things here. So, number one, the arrest of your previous boss, does that have anything to do with what was going on at work, or was that just like something totally separate?
That was something totally separate. They just came and got
Okay.
him while he was at work.
Wow. Okay, so that's intense. And so then your team lead steps up to basically become the boss or the supervisor. And
Yes.
now you're saying she is using her authority in ways that are unproductive. Is the fridge just kind of one example, or are you saying that there's other examples too of her like implementing power in some way?
Yeah, it was definitely just the biggest example and the one that hit me most personally because, these are items that I purchased with my
Yeah.
hard-earned money.
So is she the type of person that is open to hearing your perspective, to hearing some feedback?
She's definitely changed, and I'm not sure. She used to be really open to conversations, and now she just seems more closed off.
I mean, there's some conflicts here. There's some obviously an issue with her throwing out your food and not reimbursing you. Maybe some other issues as well. It's going to be hard to give her feedback that she can hear and take in and maybe change something and even consider reimbursing you if you don't have probably some rapport built up with her, some relationship built up with her. So I almost wonder if it would be a good idea to say, hey, since you've moved into the new position, you and I haven't really gotten a chance to talk or to sit down, and just curious if you'd be open to grabbing some coffee this week or getting lunch in the break room together so we can chat and just like touch base and see how you're doing with this new position, just so you can start building some rapport with her. Anytime someone jumps into a new position, especially if it's like they're now a supervisor over a bunch of people they weren't before and power has gone to their head, they're feeling some pressure, some stress. They're probably a little confused as to what to do. This is a new job for her. She's maybe feeling a little insecure. And so she's kind of implementing authority in some way as a compensation for that insecurity. So it might help the whole situation instead of like fighting with her in some way to try to just let her know, hey, I care about what's going on with you. I want to understand what your experience is like, how you're doing, how you're feeling in this new role. How can I support you in this new role? Get that rapport built up, and then that might open her up to actually being more friendly and less kind of authoritative with you. What do you think about that strategy?
It sounds good. It sounds like a plan. I think I'll definitely try that and see if she's at least willing to open up more. And
Yeah.
yeah, I like the thought of showing her the other side and seeing the other side as well.
In my experience, like I said, when people get into new positions, especially when they're thrown into them because like something happened and they have to take over, people get very insecure and they get very shaky and they're not sure if they're doing a good job and they're not sometimes not sure what to do. So, she could just be trying to overcompensate by implementing some power, and she doesn't really know what to do. And so having someone like you on her side that says, hey, I know this can be stressful, this transition. I'm here to support you. Tell me what you need from me. How are you feeling about this whole thing? And just seeing if she'd be willing to open up, I think that could be a good path. And then you can have easier conversations like, hey, my food got thrown out and I spent money on that. Is there any way to get compensated? That conversation would be easier if she felt like you also like cared about her and you had a better relationship and that sort of thing. If we're talking about building peace with her or with the company, that would be my suggestion. Of course, you can always say, forget this, I'm going to just leave this company and go somewhere else. I mean, that's obviously a possibility, but if you want to try building peace first, this would probably be the right route, letting her know that you care about what's going on her end too.
Thank you.
Does that sound like you'd be open to that?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Anything else on your mind at the moment?
No, that was the huge relief. Thank you.
All right. Well, hopefully that works. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the Peace Building with Dr. Pollack show. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more workplace conflict advice. Share on social media if you think your friends and colleagues would benefit from this episode. And if you have a workplace conflict and want to be a caller on our show for free coaching and advice, please email podcast@pollackpeacebuilding.com. Thanks.